Sabrage. The art of opening a champagne bottle with the saber. Disclaimer. Opening a bottle of wine with the saber is very dangerous. Please be extremely careful when attempting. Not that common, but spectacular when executed properly, the art of sabrage can be a great way to start a formal dinner or end a ceremony. While not often called for, we will learn this timeless and thrilling way to open up champagne. A brief history. The technique of opening champagne with sabers became popular just after the French Revolution, when the saber was the weapon of choice of Napoleon's cavalry. At celebrations, the cavalry would open champagne with their sabers. An interesting story revolves around the famous champagne house of Clicquot. Madame Clicquot, a young widow at the time, would entertain Napoleon's officers in her vineyard. The story is that after parties, they would ride off in the early morning with their bottles of champagne, open them with their sabers to impress the rich young widow. Physics in action. As anyone who has opened up a bottle of champagne before, it's known that the bottle contains substantial pressure. Originally, champagne bottles would explode often due to the stress placed on the glass bottle. To combat these issues, glass manufacturers kept making bottles thicker. The thicker reinforced glass would be able to withstand the extra stress placed on the bottle from pressure created during the secondary fermentation in a champagne bottle. Typical champagne bottle pressure is approximately 90 pounds per square inch. The diameter of the bottle opening is about 0.7 inches. The PSI, combined with the narrow neck of the bottle, creates a force of about 35 pounds trying to push the cork out of the bottle. It's this stress on the glass from the inside pressure, combined with a few weak points in the glass bottle, which allow the sabrage method of opening to occur. It's not as simple as lopping off the top with a sharp saber, as some may believe. The bottle-making process creates two specific weak points which come together to make sabrage possible. Towards the opening of the bottle, there is a lip that is placed onto the main bottle during the bottle-making process, which is a concentration point. This lip is where the wire cage is attached to the bottle. Vertically, there's a seam running the length of the bottle that is thin, where the bottle is seamed together during the bottle-making process. This creates a second pressure concentration point. At this juncture of the seam and the lip, both stress concentrations combined and the strength of the glass is weakened by more than 50%. The saber impacting on the stress points creates a small crack that rapidly spreads throughout the glass. The pressure in the bottle and impact of the saber are what help the crack to spread so rapidly. Once the crack has detached the top from the bottle, the pressure inside the bottle will help push the top out, the top being the lip of the bottle with cork intact. Opening a bottle with a saber. Note, for this feat to be smooth and masterful, it must be practiced first. It's not recommended to try this for the first time at a special occasion. This technique will take a few bottles to master. Purchase some inexpensive bottles of sparkling wine to practice with. As long as the wine has a traditional cork closure, this method should work. A wine saber is not required, but can be obtained from the internet or at some specialty wine or knife shops. In lieu of a wine saber, a sturdy kitchen knife may be used. Items needed. Chilled sparkling wine. A wine saber, if possible. A large knife, if the wine saber is not available. And a cloth napkin or serviette. To use the saber method of opening champagne or sparkling wine, it's not recommended to use a bottle that's been shaken. There's already substantial pressure in the bottle. No additional assistance in pressure is needed. The bottle should be well chilled from refrigeration or ice water bath. If the ice water bath method was used to chill it, the bottle should be wiped dry by a clean serviette to maintain a good grip on the bottle. After firmly grasping the champagne bottle, the foil should be removed from the top of the bottle. Next, the wire cage needs to be unwrapped and removed from the bottle as well. Note, as stated previously, the bottle is under tremendous pressure. Anytime a wire cage is removed from a champagne or sparkling bottle, it should be covered with a finger or thumb with some pressure in case of untimely opening. But in this situation, you shouldn't keep your finger on the cork when using the saber, as you may injure yourself. This is more important when executing formal tableside service, as corks have been known to fly off unexpectedly, causing injury, so care must always be used. At least in this situation, everybody will be waiting for the cork to fly out. While grasping the bottle, look closely at the glass itself. Locate the seams on the bottle. This is where the two halves of the bottle have been joined together. A very thin line running vertically along the bottle will indicate it. The bottle should be held firmly by the base at a 30 to 45 degree angle upwards, pointed in a safe direction away from other guests. Next, lay the saber flat against the bottle where the seam was detected. Feel free to move the saber up and down the bottle to the lip and back a few times, making sure you have a firm grasp on the bottle. Ensure that your hand will not make contact with the movement of the saber when ready to execute this movement. Please make note to use the correct amount of pressure and position the blade properly. That's flat and on the seam of the bottle. This process should not be muscled. The pressure in the bottle combined with the contact of the saber should be enough to make a clean break and have the top detach cleanly from the bottle. Weak, unsure attempts often result in simply ricocheting off the top of the bottle. Overly strong attempts can cause the glass to shatter or miss the bottle completely. Once confident in the movement, decisively and quickly slide the saber down the vertical seam on the bottle towards the lip that holds the cork. This should be one firm, continuous movement that makes a strong and smooth contact with the bottle lip. If all goes well, the ring of the glass will break cleanly off with the cork intact, and both will fly off together approximately 5 to 10 feet. After cleanly opening the bottle, there are a few remaining items. Make sure to pour out a little champagne before serving, just in case there's any little shards of glass that may be inside the bottle. Be careful handling the bottle at the top and picking up the broken portion of the glass, as it's going to be very sharp. Note, if the first attempt doesn't work successfully, be aware that the agitation of the first movement will cause the wine to spray more when finally successful. Multiple attempts to behead a bottle will contribute to a poor break and an undrinkable bottle. Do not drink from any bottle that has been broken messily. A correctly severed bottle has a single clean break, which is still sharp but not shattered. Once completed, enjoy the festivities.